screen visible?
Yes.
Okay. So this is your last tutorial for Sanjeeva's part. So in this tutorial, we'll be covering the genetics part. So in this tutorial only, I will be covering the entire tutorial. So Amadip Mandal, my co-TA, is not here today. And Deep will be the head co-TA for this part. So we'll start with this part. So at 7:45 you have quiz. So we'll try to cover it by 7:45. So we have half an hour to discuss this content and another 15 minutes to discuss the Q&A from your side. But these involve some mathematical calculation also, this tutorial. So I'll request all you to keep your pens and notebook with you. So if possible, we'll combine both the discussion and the Q&A all together. So first of all, we have the Mendel's law. So in genetics, the Mendel, it gave the three, it gave the different principles of the genetics. So first one is the dominance and another one is the segregation. And the third one is the independent assortment. So we'll see these things in the upcoming slides. So I'll be explaining these things one by one. So the law of dominance, it basically states that when the parents are pure or the contrasting traits, so when they're crossed with each other, then only the one form of the trait, that is the gene, will appear in the next generation. So only the dominant gene will be appear in the next generation, and the recessive will be masked. So this is the law of dominance, what it says. So another, we have the law of segregation. So it basically involves the monohybrid cross. So monohybrid cross basically means a cross that involves only a one trait. So it states that at the time of formation of the gametes, so each member of each pair of a gene, so only they separate and only the one gene it comes to the next generation, so that one can come from a father and another from a mother. So this is the law of segregation. So another one is we have the law of independent assortment, so in which we have it involves the analysis of the dihybrid cross. So in the segregation, so you must have saw in the class that so when we there's a tall tree and the small the dwarf one. So we represent the tall with the capital TT 2 times and the small dwarf with the small t 2 times. So when we cross this all together, so we get another generation. So in law of independent assortment, so it involves a dihybrid cross. So suppose in this we have the yellow with the round shaped seeds, another we have the wrinkle with the green seeds. So we have the two different analysis. So we have two different crosses, two different traits, and we are crossing and we are getting the resulting trait. So this is the basic technique how we do those things. And another one, on the top, you can see the law of dominance. So in genetics, we have different traits which are considered as dominant. So in the axial and in the comparison between axial and the terminal, so axial is considered as the dominant over the terminal. So on the law of segregation, you can see that in the first generation, in the P generation, we have the purple flowers and the white flowers. When they crossed with each other, we got the capital P and the small p. But they are the only the color. We are distinguishing it based on the color only. So and on the F2 generation, we get the Punnett square, in which we get the further combinations. So in the law of independent assortment, so we have a dihybrid cross, because in the law of segregation, I told you it's a monohybrid cross, which involves only a one trait. But in case of this law of independent assortment, we have two traits. So like we have the capital Y by RR and the small y by RR. So it's one is the round with the yellow seeds, another one is the wrinkled with the green seeds. So when they are combined with each other, so we got these kind of combinations. So these involves only the genes. So genes have two alleles. So this basically the Mendel focused on. But apart from Mendel's theory, we have what are the exceptions to this is the ABO blood group system. So in which we have A, B, and O. So we have A antigen, B antigen, and the O antigen. So O antigen is nothing but the absence of the A and B antigen, which is known as the O part. So this is the exception to the Mendel's law. So then we have this another traits also. So they are basically the incomplete dominance. So and the codominance. So you can see we have the on the top, you can see on the lower right of the top, you can see we have the red flower and we have the white flower. And on the lower side, we can see that that there's a pink flower and there's a combination of red and the white. So what incomplete dominance says that, because it's a partial dominance, it means because if the red color is dominant, then the red color should appear in the next generation also. But this is not the case. After cross, we are getting a pink color. So it means that this is the partial dominance. So this is an example of the partial dominance. So another is the codominance. So codominance in codominance, what it states that the alleles, they lack both dominant as well as a recessive relationship, so that the both are observed phenotypically to the same degree. So you can see the shape is almost same, but the genotype is not same. So this is basically the codominance. I want you to solve these questions, and I'll be discussing these questions side by side, but I want you to solve these questions. So what are the total number of phenotypes and the genotypes obtained in the F2 generation after dihybrid cross following genetic Mendelian genetics? So this is the, on the right hand or rightmost side, you can see that this is a one snapshot, and on this part you have to calculate the total number of phenotypes and the genotypes. Can anybody tell me any rough guesses? You can take a reference from this part also. Answer is this is there in this slide also, but you can take reference. If you have read the question, you can take reference from this slide.
Phenotype is the 4.
Okay.
And genotype we'll have to see. There are quite some.
You can see I've given the slide. Answer is there in the slide only.
Hello. There are
Yes.
4 phenotypes.
I'm not able to hear you. Can you repeat again?
There are 4 different phenotypes.
Okay. So what about genotypes?
And genotypes, it is 9 no
10.
Phenotype 9:10. You are talking about this. This is the of the different characters. In total, I'm asking what will be the genotype?
Okay.
In total.
I guess total 9 genotypes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So another question is, so in the cross of capital Y small y and capital R small r with the capital Y small y and capital R small r, what is the probability of genotype capital Y RR?
1:16. 1:16.
1/16.
1/16.
Yeah, it's 1/16. So another question is, the following two genotypes are crossed. So what will the proportion of the following genotypes be among the progeny of this class? So you have to, in the rough notebook, you have to just cross this combination in the question, and based on that cross, you have to make the combination ABCD and tell me what is the answer. Even I've solved this in my notebook. If you have any problem, do let me know. We'll discuss all together. Anybody? I've solved in this my notebook also. So if you are getting any problem in solving, do let me know. You just have to do one thing, cross this combination that is given in the question separately, like AA and AA, then solve with the BB, CC, and likewise do till EE, and based on that combination, just answer this ABCD. Anybody?
Oh, so we can just use the independent assortment thing and we can separate them.
Yes. But tell me the final answer so that I can discuss further.
1/32.
1/32 is for the A part?
Yes.
Yeah, it's true. For the B part?
1/64.
Yeah, it's true. For the C part?
C part.
So tell me. So it's easy if you have done the crossing part, then these are nothing actually. You just have to make the see the probability and just multiply. That's it.
1 by 4 to the power 5.
32.
No. 1/32 is not possible. So there is no need to make random guesses in
1
this
by
part.
128.
1 by
128.
no. So that I'm saying that there is no need to.
That's the C part.
6.
1 by
256.
Yeah, it's 2. 1 by 256 is the right answer. So what will be the answer of the last part?
0.
Yeah, it's 2. So now you have to tell the question answer of this part. Suppose Joe has classic hemophilia, which is an X-linked recessive disease. So both his parents are phenotypically healthy. So could Joe have inherited the gene for this disease from the following persons? His mother's mother. So let me clarify this part. So for the hemophilia, so it's a blood disorder in which the person, the clotting doesn't happen. So if there is any injury, the blood, it flows for an extended period of time. So this is a huge bleeding loss in the hemophilia. So this is the blood disorder because we do not have enough clotting factors so that it can form a clot. So X-linked recessive means there is some kind of mutation on the X chromosome. So in which if the father has this defect in the X chromosome, then the father will be defected actually. So just based on this, answer these questions. So if that person has hemophilia, so is it possible that he has inherited this disease from his mother's mother? Yes or no?
Yes.
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 So
Yes.
and B part, his mother's father.
Yes.
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 Okay.
Yes.
His father's mother.
No.
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 Okay. His father's father.
No.
No.
Now answer these questions. So I'll be discussing these questions side by side, but first I want you to try, then I'll discuss. So in a grasshopper system, the female has a chromosome number of 24 and male have 23. So male grasshopper with brown wing was mated with a green winged female. Find out the probability of female offspring with brown wings. If green is dominant over brown, X chromosome is responsible for the inheritance. Just solve this question and do let me know. Any rough guesses are also welcome. Just try these questions. Just read the statement carefully and the answer is given in the statement only. You just have to make a cross. That's it. Anybody?
1 by 2.
1 by 2. No. No, 1 by 2 is possible, but in which case? Sorry, but in which case actually? So whether it's a homozygous, heterozygous, like this. Any rough
Homo.
guesses?
Homo.
If green is dominant, then all must be green.
Can you repeat again? I didn't get your point.
Means that if green is dominant, then
Yeah.
all must be green.
So that's why I'm asking now, what is the probability of that thing actually?
Or matlab one.
It's 1 by 8.
1 by 2.
1 by?
1 by 8.
1 by 8. So we get 50% for a heterozygous and 0% for a homozygous. So in the homozygous part, so the green is dominant. So we have the XX with the G, and in the male we have the XO, that is the X0. So when you combine this thing, you will get the XG and the XX. So which is a 100%. The 50% will be the heterozygous part. For the homozygous, you will get the 0.
50% is 50% of female offspring, right?
Yeah. If mother is heterozygous. Because we have XXG, that is the dominant one, and the male we have XO. So when you combine, you will get XX and XXG.
In probability, we won't take all the offspring possible or only the female part.
Can you explain what does this XO means? How many to?
Yeah, I'll explain in the further slides. First, I want you to explain these things. So, okay, just focus on the second part. A female offspring with brown wings, if brown is dominant over the green, and X chromosome is responsible for the inheritance.
100%.
Okay.
100 for homozygous
Yeah.
and 50 for heterozygous.
It is 100 for everybody.
So answer the C part. Offspring with green wings if green is dominant over brown and the trait follows the autosomal inheritance. Anybody?
C part you were saying?
Yeah, C part, C part.
100 for homo and 50% for hetero.
So 50 if the mother is heterozygous and 100 if the mother is homozygous. Just answer the D part. Offspring with green wings if brown is dominant over green and the trait follows the autosomal inheritance.
Green is dominant. Sorry, D part you were saying.
Yeah.
Autosomal inheritance is like then based on O1, right? Because those would be autosomes.
Oh, but tell me the exact part. Actually, then we can discuss that part because in this they're saying the brown is dominant. So just consider the B.
No, I'm asking again D part. They are saying brown is dominant over green, right?
Yeah.
So in it's written
1 by
autosomal. If we are saying that it's X or like X inheritance, X-linked inheritance, then it won't be autosomal, na? Because those are the gametes, like the what we call them.
Because but in autosomal we have the equal likely probability of getting the genes now.
No, so the deciding allele is on O or X in D part.
So that I want you to just focus and just let me know. Then we'll discuss this part.
Okay.
What is
50% of homozygous have that, and 0% of heterozygous.
It will be only
So it's so
homozygous.
opposite what you told actually. So this is the for the A part. So this is actually the handwritten notes that we have made for you. You can see these things. So if you have any questions, we'll discuss this in the last because now the time is actually short.
I had a doubt regarding the language of the question. Can I ask?
What?
I had a small doubt regarding the language of the question. One statement. Can I ask?
Okay, just let me know.
In the A statement, when they mean female offspring with brown wings, do we have to assume, are they asking that if the offspring is female, what is the probability of having brown wings, or what is the probability of female offspring and brown wings?
I didn't get your question actually. Can you speak a little louder? Actually, time is short. Actually, just be fast actually because I have to cover so many slides.
Another time. It's okay. Proceed.
What is autosomal inheritance?
So actually, autosomal inheritance is basically means that a gene is located on one of the autosomes. Okay, so it means that the female and the male, they have the equal probability of getting that gene actually. Autosomal. Okay, tell this question. So if a chromosome has the following segments where this dot represents the centromere, so what match these combinations? What type of chromosome mutation are required to change this chromosome into each of the following chromosomes? What will be the answer for the A? ABE.FG.
Deletion.
For 3.
ABE. And then we have the FG. So what you told?
Deletion.
A ka 3.
Deletion.
Yeah, it's deletion. B.
Inversion.
Inversion. What is this pericentric and paracentric?
Yes.
So pericentric means inversion means the towards the center, that is towards the centromere, whereas the paracentric means away from the center, which it does not include centromere. Peri means towards the center, para means away from the center, that is the centromere.
Could you state an example?
What?
Could you state an example? Like I didn't get it. Towards
So dot. So this dot is represents a centromere. So what I'm saying. So if there is a pericentric, so the combination will be towards this dot. That alpha bytes will be towards this dot. So if there is towards the centromere. So whereas when we talk about the paracentric inversion, it means that the combination is away from the dot. So if the B, then the B will be far away from this centromere. That is a paracentric.
Okay, so the B is touching the centromere, like kind of saying in a layman language.
In a layman language.
So it's paracentric inversion.
Okay, just do let me know. Just ask. Just write this question and we'll discuss. You told deletion,
Like deletion can happen twice, right? So
but there are other options also. Just see it very carefully.
Paracent. C option.
Okay, just what about others?
Pericentric.
C is duplication.
Just say one by. So what is the answer for C?
C,
It's
duplication.
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 Okay, D.
D.
Paracentric.
It's
Paracentric.
pericentric. Brother, which was nearer to the center, peri or para?
Para is away from the center. Peri is towards the center.
Paracentric.
So yeah, it's like pericentric.
Okay, what about E?
Duplication and inversion.
Duplication and inversion.
That's true. E is duplication and inversion. So the answers are simple actually. So you just have to match this combination with the question and just have to see which one is nearer and far. Based on that, these are options. So these are very simple question.
How
Can you
is
explain
paracentric?
Paracentric and pericentric.
What?
How is B paracentric?
So in this case, you can see that we have the E part away from that dot, and just see the quotient and the B part. See the quotient E is towards the dot, and in the quotient B is towards the E. This away from the dot. Got it?
Yes.
Because based on dot, you have to answer this question, on the question that we have asked. Just tell me this question. A cross is made between a heterozygous beetle female with a beetle male having recessive genes for body texture B and color R. What will be the progeny? What will be the genotype of female parent? And if recombination is there, then what are the genotypes of all the progenies of F1 generation? Anybody? Again, it involves the crossing over part.
are these autosomal or chromosomal? Like
No need to consider. So just cross over it. So if you're not stating that thing, then no need to consider those things. So it's a recombination part that we have already seen in the previous slide. You just have to make a crossover. What will be the genotype of the female parent? It's a simple question. You just answered this in the, I think, third slide actually, when we have YYRR combinations. Any rough guesses?
4.
What?
4.
No. I'm not talking about that the number of traits. I'm asking what will the genotype like in terms of B, R, like this.
BBRR.
DR.
Capital B, small b, capital R, small r.
Yes, true. So what is the answer for the second part? If recombination is considered, what will be the genotype of all the progenies of the F1 generation?
Capital B, small b, capital R, small r, then there will be more. Like
Then
it will be one will be small b, small r, small r.
yeah, it's true.
There will be small
Simple
b.
actually that we have also discussed in the previous slide also. Okay, answer this question then. Assume capital A, capital B is crossed with a small b. Then F1 progeny is again crossed with the small b. What percentage of the second progeny will be A, B, B if the two genes are completely linked? Again, you have answered this thing actually.
25%.
No. Just tell me this.
6.25%.
What?
6.25%.
6 point how?
1 by 16 is the probability.
1 by 16.
See, in this case, we are taking capital A, small b, capital B, and it's crossing with the A, B, B. So what will be the F1 generation?
Capital
If
A,
you get
small a.
Capital A, small a, capital B, small b.
True. So true. So you are true at that point. So when this capital A, small a, capital B, small b is crossed with capital A, small b, small b,
50%.
what will be the recombination percentage of both these? because it's already recombined. Then how 6.25? I didn't get your
50%.
What?
50%.
Yeah, 50% for each part because it's already recombined. Okay, so it's a calculation based question. So a cross is made between a pure wild type male and brown eye curl winged female of a hypothetical fly. Then test cross was done with F1 progeny. The cross gives the F2 progenies as follows. So these are the traits and this is a number. So based on this, calculate the recombination frequency. It's easy. It's you just have to add and just divide and multiply by 100 only.
Okay.
It's a one-line answer actually. Anybody?
50.
It's 6.6. So see in this, so we are adding 12 plus 8. Why not 130? Because it's already given in the question, brown eye curl wing. So we have taken the recombinants. So recombinants are only two, red eye and the curl wing and the brown eye with the long wing. So this is the recombination 12 plus 820 upon the total number is 300 into 100. That's it. So these are very interesting question pedigree. So I'll want your active participation in these parts. So these are actually interesting questions. From this pattern of inheritance, identify the nature of the disease for which this gene is present on the X chromosome. You just have to tell based on A and B which one is X-linked dominant and X-linked recessive. Tell me which one will be the A and B. Okay, just if we have didn't get this part, I'll explain one thing or not based on a diagram. So this circle, it represents the female. If the circles are hollow, these are females. But if the circles are filled, like in this case, it's red, it means that the female is affected. Hollow square are males. If the squares are filled, it means the male is affected. Now answer. So if the male is meeting with the female which is affected, then in the second generation we are getting the affected female, and after in the third generation also we are getting a affected female. So which kind of nature it is? X-linked dominant or recessive?
Dominant.
It's true. Just likewise answer the B part. The hollow one represents the healthy, whereas the filled one represents the affected.
This is recessive.
Recessive.
Yeah. These are handmade notes, you can refer. Okay, so what is the type of inheritance of the affected phenotype? Based on this diagram, just tell me in the final generation, what is the type of inheritance? In the starting first generation, you can see that there is a affected male, there is a meeting with the normal female, and in the second generation, we have different progenies in which we have the carrier female. So carrier female is a female which carries the trait from one generation to another generation. And in the last generation, that is the third generation, we are getting a affected male and again a carrier female. So what kind
Recessive.
of inheritance is it?
Carried by X.
Recessive.
It's actually recessive. So phenylketonuria is an autosomal recessive disorder. What is the probability that 12 is a carrier? So phenylketonuria is basically a disorder in which we have amino acid phenylalanine. It's metabolism. There's a problem with the metabolism of the phenylalanine, which leads to the CNS disorders. So based on this is just a part explanation of the phenylketonuria. So what is the probability that 12 is a carrier?
0%.
0%.
No, 100%.
Okay. What is the probability that 16 is genotypically normal?
Not possible. 0%. 0.
Yeah, it's true. Okay, answer this question. In this pedigree chart, what is the type of inheritance observed, provided generation 1 genotypes are unknown? Anybody?
It's a dominant trait.
Which kind of dominance?
Autosomal.
What?
Autosomal.
Yeah, it's autosomal dominance because in this the mutation is observed in all the generations. There are equal likely probability of getting that trait from the previous generation. So that's it for today's part. So if you have any queries, to let me know. We'll still have 15 minutes to go. Your quiz will start at 7:45. So you must have received the mails from the head TAs regarding the attempting that quiz, how to attempt those things. So if you have any doubts with that part, do let me know with that now only. If you are facing any connectivity issues or some other issues, because head TAs they will address now. Or you can check your other parts also for the quiz part. Or then otherwise we have to wait for 14 minutes because we'll leave at 7:45.
Can you please explain the previous slide once again?
This one?
Yes.
Okay, so what did you understand from this part?
No, before it, Joe. Is
Previous slide?
yes.
This one?
When you started this the diagram and that slide.
This one?
Yes.
Okay, so what you didn't get actually, then I'll explain in the more detail. These symbols or?
Yes, I'm the problem with getting the symbols.
Okay, no worries. So see, so in this part we have to guess from A and B, so which is X-linked dominant and X-linked recessive. So first of all, I'll tell you the definition. What does it mean actually? So X-linked recessive, it's a basically a genetic condition in X-linked recessive. So in which you have mutations in the genes which are present on the X chromosome. So male have XY and female have XX chromosomes. Okay. So if there is a mutation in the X chromosome, on a mutation in the genes which are present on the X chromosome, then the male will be affected because it has only X chromosome. So and female have two XXs. So if there is any mutation with the genes on the X chromosome, there is a chance that it may or may not transmit to the another generation. So this is the X-linked dominant. So this symbol represents square, or you can say this rectangle. So it represents a healthy male. So if if these symbols are hollow, like this is a white, totally white background. So it represents a healthy male. So on the circle, it represents the female. So if the circle is hollow, like on the B side, you can see there's a hollow circle with a white background. So this is a healthy female. So if the circles are filled with some color, so there's no standard for these colors. So if they are filled with some kind of color, it means the female is affected. And now you can see in the A part, so when there's a mating between a healthy male and the affected female, so then next generation, it has affected female and one affected female and one non-affected female that is healthy and two unaffected males. And on the subsequent generation, that is the third generation, we have three males which are normal and there is one female which is this affected one. So based on this, I asked you to just tell me the nature of the disease. So you can see in this part, the female is carrying that affectiveness in the subsequent generations. So it's still affected actually. Sorry.
Excuse me?
Yes.
In the safe browser, it is showing that the quiz has been configured so that the students may only attempt it using safe exam browser. Will it get opened by?
Yeah, so it's a timely quiz actually. So it will open exactly at the time of scheduled time and it will close. And remember one thing, it will close at the scheduled time.
Okay, it means all we have to do is refresh this browser.
What?
All we have to do is refresh this browser. On the time it will get automatically loaded, right?
I didn't get your part.
I'm saying it will get automatically loaded at 7:45. No.
So no, so if so sometimes it depends upon the connectivity issues also. If it's not get reloaded, just reload it at once.
Yeah, it is showing that the quiz has been configured. So is this right? Is this right?
So
Or it
it's not. So it's not for your part actually, because the TSA they have uploaded the question. Now they are looking for the other technical issues with that part.
okay?
Yeah.
Please explain autosomal inheritance once again.
Autosomal inheritance. So in autosomal inheritance, it's basically says that there is an equal likely probability that the male and the female they get that a particular trait. This is just its meaning actually. There is an equal likely probability of getting the same trait.
Only one of them will get, or both can get the trait.
So I'm saying the equal likely probability. They may or may not. Equal likely probability.
The trait could be linked to either X or Y or both X and Y.
So your question is actually very vague actually. So in the male part,
I'm not understanding the meaning.
Yeah.
I'm not understanding the meaning of autosomal inheritance. I'm not
Okay.
able to
So it's simple actually. I don't know why I'm not getting actually. So autosomal means that again I'll repeat that thing only, that suppose we have one trait and in the next generation, so there is an equal probability of, if there is a male and female in the next generation, there is an equal probability of getting that trait. That's it. That is autosomal inheritance only.
Could you state?
Can I?
State an example, like a case or like that, something.
Yes, how can we do the cross for this case? How do we denote it and how to do the cross? I mean.
Okay, then I have to figure out one example for this part. Right now, I don't have any example on this tutorial because these are all things that sir have already taught. We have just framed those questions based on the lectures actually. I do not have separate question for this autosomal inheritance right now here.
Bhaiya, do we have to be present in the meet during the quiz?
No need. I will download your attendance at 7:45.
We can't be actually, because when we open the save browser, the Teams automatically closes.
So
Can we give the quiz on Moodle app?
What?
Can we give the quiz on Moodle app?
So what they actually told you actually? They told you about the Safe app now?
Yep.
You won't be able to give it because that quiz is configured to be run only through Save browser.
So are you clear with the instructions of the quiz? All of you?
Yes.
Because it's a timely quiz, so it will start at 7:45 and it will end by 8 sharp. Are you familiar with this quiz Safe app earlier also? This is for the first time.
This is for the first time.
First time. We are familiar with Safe app, but this time it's browser.
It's not the Safe app, brother. It's actually something you save browser on PC itself, not on mobile phone.
Okay.
So we'll leave now for the test.
So just wait for 1 or 2 minutes and you can leave actually.
Okay. According to the protocol.
Yeah.
Bhaiya.
Yes.
You covered the lecture 8th.
Yeah. What?
You didn't cover anything about the lecture 8.
Actually, the today's quiz, it's your 8th quiz na today?
Yes.
So this 8th quiz will be based on lecture 6 and 7 only. today's quiz is your quiz 8, and the syllabus for the quiz 8 is only lecture 6 and lecture 7. That's why.
Yeah, is all the
Just say one by one. Actually, I didn't get your voices. Actually, they are all mingled up at once.
is that
Say it once again.
let me ask, is that plus or plus minus thing in blood group that is in syllabus, like the
So
importance?
that blood grouping, they sir taught you in which class? Lecture 6, 7, or 8?
6, I guess.
If it's in 6, then because the syllabus for today's quiz, 8th quiz is lecture 6 and 7. If it's covered in this lecture 6, then it will be there. It may or may not be.
Yeah, but but they didn't define it at well. They just introduced that there is O positive, O negative, and something like the experiments.
Yeah, it depends upon the weightage also. If they have not explained that to that level, then they may not ask in the quiz. But I'm not sure because we just made the questions actually. Then the final call is with the sir, which questions to include and which not. Because we make questions for you and we just hand over it to the head TS, and head TS and the sir they take call which questions to include or not. We just make the question bank and they will include the final questions.
Brother, I had a query about a question in the quiz itself.
Which
the previous quiz 7.
Okay, just tell me.
The question stated that a plant underwent a cell division error where the chromosome number became tetraploid. So it asked the number of chromosomes in the gamete of that plant, and the tetraploid number was given 60.
Okay.
So what should be the gamete chromosome number according to you?
Actually, for this part, actually, I have to see, I have to solve as such. I cannot answer this question.
Use 2n is equal to 4x.
If someone of you can know, you can just discuss among yourself here, because I have to see this part.
Achha, brother, I just had one query.
Yes.
That if a plant becomes like tetraploid, so is it because of the cell division error within the plant, or is it because during its formation of embryo two diploid gametes combined for the formation?
All that constant that get doubled.
Could you please repeat?
The chromosome number get doubled. मतलब
हाँ तो नहीं I wanted to confirm कि ये जो चीज होती है ये तब होती है जब प्लांट का एम्ब्रियो बन रहा था एंड 2 डिप्लॉयड गैमीट्स केम टुगेदर, और ये बाद में होगी कि मतलब कि प्लांट में सेल डिवीजन एरर आ गई तो पूरा प्लांट टेट्राप्लॉइड हो गया बैठे बैठे।
इस क्वेश्चन में ऐसे पूछा था कि जो प्लांट है उसके गैमेट्स में कितने होंगे, तो उसके में तो फिर उसके हाफ ही होंगे ना। क्वेश्चन सिंपल भी था, तो पहले सोच रहा होगा।
Brother, it's time. We will leave.
Okay, you may leave now if you want to go.
Okay.
Thank you.
It says in the slides that it is a cell division error. No mention of combination of diploids.
Your voice is not clear actually. Can you say it again?
Bhaiya, can we leave now?
Yes.